Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Twilight Zone. More specifically about an episode called 22. Not episode 22, but an episode that was called 22. Now, it is one of the creepiest episodes of the entire Twilight Zone series, in my opinion, and it aired February of 1961. We have really good actors in this. Jonathan Harris, we have the main character, Barbara Nichols, playing Liz Powell. A lot of really good actors, including the nurse and the stewardess, Arlene Sachs, who plays in a lot of TV shows and movies during the time, including Hogan's Heroes and Star Trek. But let me tell you a little bit about this. This is a story about a professional dancer. She's in a hospital because she is essentially going crazy from anxiety, stress, and overwork. And she has this recurring nightmare where she continues going to the hospital morgue. The perspective of this is super creepy, and they also filmed this and put it directly on videotape, so the quality is a little inferior, but it also makes you feel like you're in the story more. It's really creepy. Now, where did this story really come from? Well, it came from a short anecdote in some ghost stories from 1944, and it's a really interesting one because it's similar to this story, but different. And that is, in this original 1944 movie, there's an attractive young New York girl who goes to a Carolina plantation. Now, on 2 different nights, she's getting into bed, she looks out the window into the darkness and sees an old coach being drawn by 4 horses. And you see the coachman, who looks really creepy, jumps off the coat, points a finger at her, even though he's so far away, and says, "There is room for one more." And so she freaks out. She goes back to New York and she goes to see a doctor. The doctor says, "Listen, you're hallucinating. You just need to calm down. You'll be okay." So she leaves the doctor. She goes into the elevator. She sees the same guy who she saw in the coach. And he says, "There's room for one more." Now, the girl screams and goes back, and the cables on the elevator break, and all the passengers plummet to their death. So she was so close from dying. Now, you can see how different that story was to the one that Rod Serling created for the television show. I think both would have been really interesting to see. I would have wanted to see that plantation story really recreated faithfully, but he did something different. He adapted the story and he kept the basic concept of it, but he changed the setting from a plantation to a hospital, and the vision of the coach and the man to the morgue. And let me tell you, that was even more creepy in my opinion. Now, the elevator that transformed into the airliner in the final scene where it explodes upon takeoff, and it gives the idea that she, quote unquote, escaped death and so forth. So I thought that was really cool, really interesting. I wanted to bring it to you. By the way, if you want to know how that scene or that effect was accomplished with the aircraft, they had a little plane model and they hung it from a wire and they rigged it with very small explosives and they filmed it, and that was it. That's how they got this essentially on camera. I want to know your thoughts on this episode. Have you seen it? Do you think it's as creepy as I believe? Even making it for this video, I had to watch the episode again, and it super creeped me out. Both the nurse and going into the morgue and that creepy feeling of us being in there. It's almost like you're in a haunted house. I don't know. It's super interesting, and Serling was able to create something that I never thought possible. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's free to do so, and it really does help out my channel to allow me to keep making videos just like this. We'll see you all next time, and don't forget everyone, always stay positive and be hopeful. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters, especially my Diamond tier patrons: David D, Jerry D, Citizen Kane 359, Kevin K, Russ C, Russ Cagle, Sally N, and Vito L. If you want to be on this patron list, make sure to check out the links in the description below. Thanks so much.